lifetime, Foon Hay Lum overcame struggle, war, and injustice. Sadly, it was an outbreak of COVID-19 in a Toronto long-term care home that killed the 111-year-old. Natalie Kalada now with more on her remarkable life and the activism that continues even after her death.
You know, Grandma lived so long and she fought so hard on so many fronts for so many things. So, you know, it kind of makes sense that she would kind of try to lead the charge, even in her last days, lying in her bed, that her voice would still resound to the government through her granddaughter that this is a terrible situation.
Helen Lee's grandmother survived a lot during her 111 years, but on Friday, Foon Hay Lum died at Toronto's Mon Sheong Home for the aged from complications from COVID-19.
I was like telling her, you gotta drink, you gotta drink. I was so focused on that I actually didn't remember to say I love you. Because I thought she would be dead.
By all standards, Lum's life was remarkable. Married at 18, her husband moved to Canada, paid the hefty head tax then levied by the Canadian government to discourage Chinese immigration. Because of Canada's 1923 Exclusion Act, Lum and her children couldn't follow. Instead, they bought property in southern China and lived off the land during the Second World War.
She was able to farm that, she was able to live off of that, she was able to share that with others.
Her green thumb eventually followed her to Canada, where both her garden and her activism bloomed.
She would speak up. She would just say, this is injustice. This is racism.
For the following 20 years, Lum lobbied the Canadian government to redress the head tax and Chinese Exclusion Act, eventually witnessing the government's apology in person. Now Helen is taking up her grandmother's mantle, calling for better standards, facilities, and care of Ontario's elderly. It's what she says her grandmother would do.
She'd be marching our flag. She'd be carrying a sign. She'd be saying, this is not right.
Natalie Kalada, CBC News, Toronto.
I mean, we're at the front lines of this, and the government seems